to the uniqueness that you bring, Mr. Chumbley. One of the unique issues that you are gearing towards is talking about the aging of the woodlands. What kind of brought you to kind of bring to the resolution of this issue? What brought you to it?
Well, I mean, so this is where it kind of comes from, and this is something that a lot of other people aren't talking about. Apart from now, I can see that there are people who are involved at a very high level of trying to increase sales and use tax because the Woodlands is 99% built out, and so if I can kind of show you, like on a graph, our sales and use tax, it's a $55 million revenue stream, and it's going like this on a chart. And the reason for that is because we're about 99% built out. Our funding for a lot of that is coming from the development that occurs in the Woodlands, and as that decreases by 2023, we're going to have about this much from that particular source. So we're losing income because the Woodlands is filling up essentially, and so we need to find ways to get more money. And so, and it's not even just because of that. It's because I mean, I speak to that because that's important to other people, and it is important to me. We need to find those revenue sources, but we need to understand what's happening. And I did an internship in economic community development many years ago, and you can see where aging is an issue in the Woodlands. People like to think of the Woodlands as this new place, this wonderful place, and in many ways it is. But what happens here in the Woodlands, and I've started talking about it, and let me back up before I get into that, is this is an issue that very few people talk about because they're talking about issues that people are already concerned about because they're trying to get elected. I'm talking about what's important for the Woodlands, period. So I just want to frame the context in which that's coming from. So no one else has been really talking about that. The reason why that's an issue is simply because of this. There's part of the Woodlands that goes back to 1970s. Okay, you've got old homes, and those old homes are basically becoming, some of them, dilapidated. And what they're doing is some people are tearing down those homes, and what happens when they tear down those homes? They want something that's modern. So they put something new in there, which is completely different from the rest of the housing there, which basically ticks off about 75% of the local residents who are right there. Some people appreciate, okay, you're getting a new home and you want something more updated, but it doesn't look anything like that, but that's your thing. But a lot of those people who are in there who've purchased those homes don't like it. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue to me is, let me give you an example. I was walking through there last year, knocking on doors, talking to people, and some people left food outside that had flies coming in and out, and it was so stinky and nasty and disgusting. I had to hold my mouth and nose in order to give literature to put it on the door to leave it for whoever lived there. And as it ages and gets bad on the periphery of the Woodlands, I could see people coming in and out because that's where it was, is in the older parts of the Woodlands. And basically, the long story short is, as standards become low, I'm not saying that just because you have people who have low standards that necessarily they're going to have low standards in other areas, but ultimately that's what happens, is that people who have low standards, they're going to have low standards in other areas, a small percentage, let's say, of them. And then what's going to happen is we're going to have crime come in, and it's going to be not just outside the Woodlands and trying to deal with that, it's going to be inside the Woodlands. And then we're going to have dilapidated housing. And basically what I'm saying is, okay, it's not that bad right now, but if we don't plan for it, if we don't start making that part of the issue, after it happens, it's too late to deal with the issue. You have to start planning for it now. So that's basically where that comes from.
You know,